Hi everyone, meteorologist Ed Valley here, taking a look at South America. These will become less frequent as we press into March. Right now we're doing them weekly. We'll probably do them for the next week or two weekly as well. And then they'll become more as needed as we get into the spring and summer in North America. Last 30 days, you can see moisture has been focused up in Brazil, central Brazil specifically, but we have seen some moisture down south. But we're noticing central and southern Mato Grosso do Sul, Rio Grande do Sul, Brazil, and then Argentina, especially northeast Argentina, have been the driest areas of late. And you can see that on the map here. But when you look at the last 15 days, you notice southwestern Argentina getting a little bit more active. That's that phase 4 MJO getting going. And as we know, we did see significant rain here over the weekend. You can refer to our report for more information on that. The weather this week, this is going to be a rather short video, but the weather this week is going to be focused in Brazil, southern Brazil specifically. So through the middle of the week, showers and thunderstorms far northeastern Argentina, Rio Grande do Sul, Paraná, parts of Mato Grosso do Sul, Mato Grosso. These areas are going to see moisture through Tuesday. Wednesday, same deal. Thursday, same deal. And by the end of the week, Friday, we're going to notice precipitation slowly returning to Argentina, but it's going to take a little bit of time. Into the weekend, we should see more Argentine rainfall as conditions become more wet once again. And the weekly rainfall totals are rather impressive. Now, this does include a little bit of what fell overnight right here. So when you look at the 7-day numbers, they are still rather impressive, especially southern Brazil and central and northern Argentina. So, I mean, again, any later planted soybeans would still benefit from these. And then safrinha crop, we need to get this in the ground still locally. And this rain should hopefully help that cause. Now, as we press into the next week time frame, the GFS is rather similar. So let's look at totals on the GFS. The only difference here on the GFS, it's lighter in Mato Grosso do Sul. So we have to watch Mato Grosso do Sul here, but up north and down south doing quite well. And as we look at the pattern for later next week, you're going to notice clusters of storms slowly returning again to parts of Argentina. And as you look at some of the longer term information here, I'm actually going to pull up one other thing here for you real quick. And there we go. So you're going to notice two things happening as we press into the middle part of March. One, heat is going to subside in Argentina. The 5 to 10 day is still warm in Brazil, and it does even subside further in the 10 to 15 day. And you notice the GFS also agrees with that. And the reason for this is all related to the MJO. Okay. Now, precipitation wise, you'll notice this week, like I said, southern Brazil is pretty wet. The 5 to 10 day, we see moisture return to Argentina, and it stays there, but slowly pushes back into southern Brazil in the 10 to 15. So when you look at the 15 days as a whole, you'll notice, there it is. Southern Brazil and northeastern Argentina are the wettest areas here over the next 15 days. So safrinha, that's a good thing. But again, we just got to watch Mato Grosso do Sul, see how dry this actually gets in that part of the world. But generally, moisture and temperatures are going to be pretty favorable here moving forward. Now into the 16 to 30 day time frame, you notice the cooler risk continues in Argentina, warmest in Mato Grosso do Sul, and driest in parts of Argentina and Mato Grosso do Sul as well. So that generally aligns on the temperature side, but I think the European weeklies, again, are too dry in Argentina into the middle of March. You notice we're going into 5, 6, and 7. What does that mean? Well, the cooler risk, as we talked about, but also the wetter risk. 5, 6, and even 7 in Argentina is on the wetter side. So when I look at these maps, I'm perplexed as to why it's so dry. I don't think that's correct. So we're going to have to watch that. Generally speaking, I do think, we're going to be a little bit wetter in Argentina than this model suggests. Looking at the GFS extended model, you notice it is a little bit wetter in Argentina. That's probably a better bet versus the European here, thanks to that MJO push. And here is our 16 to 30. Notice wetter in Argentina, drier in parts of Brazil. We'll watch this as we move forward. So that's an update for you. Hope you have a great rest of your week, and we'll be back here next week with more information.